want to touch base on on a couple of things we've come out with in the past year or two. This is a 5900 GMAX. This airless gas mechanical. GMAX GM is gas mechanical, and we made some improvements on it. And you know, you guys already might be familiar with it, some of the stuff, and maybe not. But one of the things we've done. This prime valve, if you notice, it's a different design. Can't really tell just by looking at it. But if I had an old one here, but this has been really upgraded. You know, that's been a problem years past. If you dump pressure through a prime valve, we never called them a dump valve on purpose. They were always a prime valve. You're supposed to release pressure out the gun and then turn the prime valve in the prime position to recirculate the paint. So if you're dumping pressure through the prime valve, you'd be replacing them every, 6 months, year and a half, just depending how you're using the machine. So what we did is because of that and because of the failures with that, just because in our view it's not a dump valve, it was a prime valve, we did beef this up pretty substantially. So it will take the constant dumping of the 3,000 psi through that valve now. And that is retrofittable to the older sprayers. It's the same thread design. So we still have the old standard prime valve, and then we have this upgraded heavy-duty prime valve that we introduced on our Ironman series a couple years ago, our really heavy-duty units, and now we've put them on the GMAX units and the Ultra 695 and up units on the electrics.
So now we can call it a dump valve.
You can, if you're flying in here, you can dump 3,000 psi and this won't fly out of the bucket for you. But we've truly beefed that up so you can dump the pressure out there and it's not going to wear out prematurely on you. But if you use the prime valve, even the old ones, if you always release pressure at the gun, you probably never replace one. They will last pretty much the life of the machine. But if you're replacing them constantly, either upgrade to this one or just release. You don't have to go all the way down to 0, but if you can just release it to 500 psi versus a 3,000 makes a huge difference. The Pro Connect system, are you guys familiar with that at all? Okay. So that is on the GMAX gas units, 39, 59, 7900. That's on the bigger electrics, and it's on the gas hydraulic, the GH. That's right here. You push up. Okay, and this kind of just this gate comes open. And we changed this pin design. Remember, they used to be flush. So we changed this design so it sticks out, so now that you just pull the pin. Okay?
Nice.
So you have this, when you get this for $225, this is what you get, all the way down to the bottom. So instead of having the downtime of the sprayer back into the shop, and you're not painting, you just replace this and you can repair this instead of having any downtime. So that's available on the full line of the GRACO airless sprayers as a program. And then we have the Pro Connect on the GMAX, the GH, and the larger electric units. So again, it's a time saver. It's a downtime. Sometimes, it's kind of been engineered so you can use this lever to push that gate open in case they got paint all gluing everything together. So you can just push that open to pull that open. That's kind of leveraged that way. So just the pin, just start that. And this is obviously new. So this just kind of goes up there, and the pin just snaps in. Then I put the hose on in the back because you might have to twist this a little bit to get the threads to line up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, before I close that gate. So again, this is just all hand tight. And this gate closes like that. Goes in. And that's a pretty firm pull, and then you go down and you're good to go. And you're back spraying. And I'm spraying, and I run out of the paint, the machine shuts off. Okay? Because the worst thing you can do is run a fluid section without paint, because paint is like the coolant and the lubricant to the packings. So a lot of times I'll go into service centers and they'll be tearing apart fluid sections, and I'll just see the packings are melted, and that's really all that's wrong with them. That means they either didn't prime in the morning and they kept trying to prime it, and they can get so hot that you can barely touch them, or they ran out of paint and they couldn't make it to the machine back, and that machine is just going crazy, dry running, and it'll literally just melt the packings. So if you have that watchdog switched on, you run out of paint, the machine will it will disengage. This right here is just an informational display. So that plugs into the main board, which is behind this. I can literally hit this with a hammer and destroy it, and the machine still works. So that's kind of a misconception, oh, delicate electronics and all that. You know, this is just purely informational. The machine does not depend on that display in any way to work. So it'll tell you your pressure. So it's a repeatable setting. Say you're using 200 oil and it sprays grade at 2,000 psi. You know you can set it there every day and have the same consistent film build and finish and pattern. Has a gallon counter that's resettable. So if you want to do a job and know how many gallons went through on a job, it has a lifetime gallon counter. You'll know how many gallons have gone through this machine. It has some diagnostics. So if you take it to a service center and say you had high clutch temperature, you know, and it's a non-repeatable, they can't duplicate the problem, they'll be able to tell, you know, it'll be EO7, which is high clutches. So if I want to release this, I just pull up on this lever, and just kind of twist it. Okay.
Oh, man. You got to
So you
get
can
one of
see
those.
they lowered the center of
Oh,
gravity
you got to get one of those.
on the machine. You know, so if it hits a snag, you can see how beefy this all is, and it's been lowered so it won't tip. So if you want to roll it back up, and even under high pressure, this handle comes out, so that way it doesn't smash a hole in your side of your van or dent it up. Okay, and it has a guide, and it just feeds right in. Okay, so it'll store in this down position like that instead of the handle going down in case you got a truck with a topper or something, or it'll store in the upright position. And then just hold that.
I'm loving that.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah,
that'll
no
hold up to
idea.
300 feet of hose, and it just makes hose management so much easier. So
Hose management.